Zebra plecos are one of the most stunning and one of the most annoying fish to breed in the entire aquarium hobby. Today, I'm going to be setting up their dream tank, hopefully, to breed in. Going a while back, 5 years ago, I bought my first ever Zebra plecos.
All right, so we've just gotten the package and I'm just gonna open it up in the car. Just, yeah, have a look inside. 5 Zebra plecos. Jeez. That's crazy. Here they are. 4 more Zebs.
I ended up breeding that adult group. So today is a momentous day here in the fish room. I almost can't believe this. I took my little flashlight, had a look in there, and there was eggs. I guess this is the big moment. There's our first one. I can't believe that I'm actually getting to do this. It's been 4 or 5 years in the making. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you believe this? There's 22 babies, I think. That's the harvest. At the end of last year, I moved the adult group into this new fish room. In they go. Where I set up what I thought was going to be their dream tank. Unfortunately, I ran into a power outage and have pretty much lost my entire breeding colony. It just smelled like rotten fish. But luckily, I did end up breeding those fish a few years ago and the babies are in here. Now, you don't even see them. This tank was set up just as a grow out tank and it's finally come the day where I want it to look nice. So I've got a lot of ideas for this tank and we're gonna be putting those in place today. So this tank is gonna get a full reset. We're gonna be adding a new substrate and doing a new scape fully focused on the Zebra plecos. I want to create an environment that encourages breeding. This means adding the right caves, flow, cover, and stability. We'll also be fixing up the lids because they've been really bugging me. No, sorry, you can't come today. Sorry, Sam. It's starting to get cold. Cars all fogged up. There he is. Not today, Sammy. Okay, so I'm just driving to the shop now because I need to get a few things. I'm also driving to Bunnings because I need to get some supplies to fix these lids. So, that's enough of this before I run over someone. All right, we're now back from Bunnings and I've got all the stuff I need to do this. So it's not gonna be too complicated. We're gonna have to tear everything down, so I'm gonna get to doing that. I'll see you when it's all done and we're ready with a blank canvas. Okay, so I've just cleared out the tank. Everyone's out. You can see down here we've got some peppermints. We've got some Zebs. I did lose a few since I added them. I've got 18 now, so I might have lost 4 or 5 while they were growing out in there. The rest of the fish are in here, and I've cleared out the fry boxes and put them into grow out. So it's time to add sand. And out here, I've got some that I bought a while ago. I've used it before. This is just turf sand, and I think I'm just gonna use a bag of this for the project today. I'm not sure which one. I think one of them is washed and one isn't, so which one is? Also, have a look at this philodendron I pulled out of the top. This was grown in this tank and look how massive it got. I'm pretty much done with this plant. This is a philodendron New Yorker and it just grows too rapid for my room. Plants are already starting to take over the place, so I kind of don't want a big bush right here. I don't think it looks very good. So yeah, I ripped that out. Okay, here we go. I think we're only gonna need one bag, luckily. Get all those sponge filters back in there ASAP. Okay, perfect. All right, so that is washed. So it will settle in like an hour or so, but I'm gonna get to scaping straight away. Okay, well that is pretty much all done. So it was a little bit tricky to film because, well, it just was. I had to set this whole thing up. The tank was a bit cloudy from the new substrate, and I think you guys have seen plenty of scaping. Anyways, so what I've done was I added this slate that was out in my backyard. Now it came with the place and I knew at some point I was gonna use it. So we finally found the setup to do it. I don't know if this looks good yet. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks a lot like what a zebra pleco biotope kind of should look like. Not exactly a biotope, but just like a scape for breeding. I've added some big slates on the bottom here. So there's one big one there and another big one here. And then I've added some rocks and shoved the caves in there because these guys come from a really fast flowing river system. I am gonna add a power head in here and that's gonna get the flow going crazy, but I'll show you guys how the tank looks tomorrow when it's all settled in again and looks nice and the fish aren't acting all wigged out like over here. You can see the rainbows are all wigging. I put all the zebs back in, the peppermint bristlenose are in here too, and hopefully, I mean, this just looks nicer, but hopefully in a few years' time, maybe in a year's time, these plecos start breeding and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But just a little scape, I think it looks a lot nicer in this corner. You can see it's still, yeah, puts a lot of light in there, makes that bottom tank look really dark. It's got a bunch of frog bit on top of it, but I am optimizing the lids. I was cutting them. I had this idea to make folding lids. So I've cut the corners off so that they fit neatly, but I've added these little joiners. These are plastic joiners I got from Temu, and I've just siliconed them on. I don't know if the silicon's gonna be strong enough to hold these plastic pieces with the glass, but I'm just doing it as an experiment. If it works, it's awesome, and if it doesn't work, well, I'll just figure something else out. So that's what's going on with this tank. Everything should hopefully be good. Definitely looks a lot better, and I'm a lot happier with it now. Well, now that we've done that job, there's a bunch of other stuff that I need to do in the room, so I'm just gonna get stuck into some jobs and cleaning. And once we're done those jobs, I'll update you guys on what's been going on in the room. So I've just got this bucket of frog bit that I've pulled out of a tank, and I actually feed this to the chooks. They love it. Girls, you want some of this? There they go. Look at that, how's that for recycling? I still haven't worked it out. Okay, it's now the following morning And yeah, yesterday was a big day. Everything's settled in, looking good. I'm gonna give you guys a quick update. But to finish this video off, I'm just gonna show you guys how the room's going. And I also wanna ask for your input on some of the future projects that we have coming up here. So the first one is this big tank. This is a 6-foot tank. I was gonna put the zebra plecos up here, but clearly they're not gonna go up here now. My idea for this tank is potentially to set up some big logs in here, like branches facing vertically, like that look like stumps, and making like a big Amazon sort of stream. But there's a million things that we could do with this tank. So comment below what you think I should do with the 6-footer. Any good ideas I will definitely take into consideration. All right, the next thing I want some input on are the low boys. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with these. You can see there's a big one up here. This one's massive. And then we've got these 2 other ones here. I put them in here to make the most of the space. And I've been breeding some royal whiptails up the top here. I don't really know how I wanna do them. I think maybe the best way to do it is gonna be to scape them and potentially put like some big rocks in the back and kind of try and bring all the fish forward with the scapes. But at the moment, I'm thinking of just doing high flow whiptail tanks. So keeping this one as my royal whiptail tank, but maybe scaping it a bit better. And then I'm gonna put my red lizard whiptails in the one next door. I'm not really sure about this tank. I'm completely lost for ideas for this one. Yeah, I kind of want some input on it. Now the room's actually doing really well. I moved all the fish yesterday that were growing out, like the baby betters and the goldfish, into their grow out tanks. Now this is a batch of baby fighting fish or betters that I bred. They're a white and a white cross, but it looks like the whole batch is duds. And I don't know whether this is a genetic issue. You can see really none of the fish are swimming properly. So I'm gonna grow them out a little bit longer and see if they get better, but if they don't improve, I will just cull the whole batch. I'm wondering if that's a genetic issue because I did breed siblings together. You can see our goldfish are just powering through. They are growing so quick. I hand spawned these. This is the first goldfish I've ever bred. Yeah, I moved them yesterday, but they eat so much. They can already eat the purefin micro pellets. So yeah, all the fishies here are doing good. I moved some more of the fighters over here. See, these ones are much better. They're actually swimming. You can see little babies not stuck to the bottom of the floor. So I think I will have to cull that other batch, unfortunately. Our peppermint dad, he's on eggs again. And you can see he's just powering through babies. Like he's making so many fish. There's also little baby peps like all throughout the tank. So I'm wondering if there's another male in here that I'm missing because, or I missed a batch because I don't know how those babies got out. And yeah, here's this tank. Looking a lot better this morning. It's clearing up slowly. You can see the zebs are already hiding. It's going to take a while for them to get used to the tank and actually be out and about. There is one underneath this rock, but that's about it for what I can see. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. You spend a lot of money on a fish and you barely get to see it, but hey, that's fish keeping. If you come down at night, you can see them all. Yeah, everything else is doing pretty good. Here's a little hack for you guys. I'm cleaning off some cyst boxes. I've got them in here with the hillstream loaches, and the hillstream loaches are really good at eating algae, and there's also shrimp in here. So they're actually cleaning all the algae and crap that built up on the cyst boxes while they were being used. So that's another bonus. And another thing I wanted to update you guys on is our chameleon whiptails. Now, I don't know if I've told you, but we did lose 2 of them. So I bought 5. I lost 2. I had a parasite going through some of the tanks and ended up losing 2, but I did save 3. And there's one getting massive, the one you can see in front that's buried in the sand. This dude is getting massive. And the ones behind, they're still small, but they are growing. They do eat pellets. We'll give them a bit of food. Grab some of the micro pellet. But yeah, I don't know. If more come available for sale, I might buy another 2 or 3. But yeah, you can see they go nuts for these pellets. That's the smaller one at the back too, so it's good to see him or her eating. But yeah, it was a bit disappointing to lose such an expensive fish so quickly, but that's fish keeping as well. I mean, they're live animals, it's the risk you take, and there's not not really anything I could have done to avoid getting that disease. It was just a bit unlucky, and lucky that as well it didn't affect more tanks. So I was very disappointed and upset. It's really hard to lose fish, especially really expensive ones that you love a lot and want to breed. I don't really care about the price, but I just love the species. I am disappointed, but look, you got to look on the bright side. At least we've still got 3. So hopefully we can get males and females from these, but they do love the pellets. So yeah, that's what's going on in the room at the moment. Everything is coming along. I've got a lot of plans for how the place will look. I cannot wait to finish off this project. Leave comments below. Oh, here's another one I need some help with too, just to finish up. Up here, I've got these 3 little 10-gallon tanks, or no, these are 5-gallon tanks. They're 20 liters each. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know whether to do 3 scapes or to do like a shrimp breeding experiment. Those are the ideas I have at the moment. Let me know down below what you guys reckon. We can also do guppy breeding or endler breeding. They won't be connected to the water change system, but that's okay. So comment that below. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.